This is a very, very special time for us as a party because if you were at our barbecue 3 years ago, we were just talking about having candidates run and not allowing the Republicans to run unopposed in this county has been our objective, and I think we have achieved it. We are a strong party, we're a vibrant party. This is our 3rd annual barbecue picnic. We have holiday parties every year, but more importantly, we are working hard to turn Paulding blue. So please everybody, big hand for Paulding County Democratic Party. Now, the members of the executive committee have worked hard to put this event together. All of the food that you are eating and everything that we have here was donated. So I want to thank all of the donors to this picnic. Thank you so much. Big hand for the donors, everybody. In addition to that, our volunteers, people who made phone calls, who continue to make this organization run efficiently and effectively, I want to thank you. And just continue to do the job that you do. This echo is bad, I'm sorry. Hear my speech. But I'm going to bring on the speakers in alphabetical order. The first person that I'm bringing up is Kimberly Alexander. Now, Kimberly is currently the House District Representative for 66. And she's running for re-election, and she is the only elected Democrat that we have representing Paulding County right now. So we're going to put her back in office. Big hand for Kimberly Alexander.
You know, it's a great thing when your last name starts with A because you always first, regardless if it's Democrat or Republican. I'm happy to be here and thank the party. This is my 2nd time attending this. Listen, we have an opportunity this year. This is the first time ever since Reconstruction that we have 3 Democrats on the ballot. Now, I made history, I love to say this, I made history in 2012 by becoming the first African-American female to be elected in both counties, Douglas and Paulding County, in District 66. We did it then, we can do it again in 2014. Now, I don't have to talk to the people here because I know you guys are going to come out and you're going to vote in November. I want people to remember and continue to pray for Ferguson. They are 94% African Americans and Democrats. And look what is going on down there. So if they were registered to vote and if they were voted, they can elect the people in office that need to represent their community. If you are black or white, but if you are a Democrat, we have an obligation to go out and vote in November election. Yes. Listen what I'm saying to you. It is very important that you be involved with the local politics. It is so important. It starts to affect you, so whether it directly affects you, it indirectly affects you. The laws that come out from down at the state capitol are not laws. They're not being made by us. The majority down at the state capitol are Republicans. When I walk into that General Assembly, I work for corporate America. It is totally different from corporate America. But based on my financial background, I'm able to come in, and that's the laws that I write and train. So I'm just going out with my hands cocked. I go in and I research before I draft a bill. And I make sure that we have a bill that is not only good for Democrats, but it's good for Georgians. And so I'm hoping that you will convince people this November to come out as the polls, come out as large as they can that first day. Do not wait. Come out that first day and vote. It is very important that we get local individuals that are on this ballot elected. Thank you guys. I appreciate it all the time. I appreciate your support. It's an honor to serve you in District 66. It's such an honor. Such an honor. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kimberly. The next speaker is going to be our very own Sandra Fuller, who's running in District 19. And Sandra has a special guest with her today. Dr. Watkins, do you want to come up? And he's going to introduce Sandra But if anybody knows her, they know she's a hard worker, she's dedicated, she's also our treasurer, and now she's running for State House Representative in District 19. Dr. Watt?
Good afternoon.
No.
I just want to say I'm voting and supporting Senator Fuller because of everything that Mike just said. She's a hard worker, she's an advocate for family. She's about the Ministry of Reconciliation, bringing people together. And I want to encourage everyone to support her campaign. I wrote a book called Never Chase a Paycheck Again, and it's to help bring jobs to local communities and help people to increase their incomes. And for those who can't find jobs, to look within themselves so they can go out and create their own income to support their families. And that's exactly what Sandra Fuller is all about, economic development for families in Paulding County, specifically in District 19. And she asked me to announce that if you donate $50 to her campaign, you'll get a copy of my book signed today, Never Chase a Paycheck Again. And this is sold all around the world in several different languages, and I think it'll be a blessing to you. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you all and present to some Sandra M. Fuller.
Paulding County, hi. I just want to thank you for coming here today. The mission that we have as the Paulding County Democrats has been a challenging mission, but it's a progressive mission. And I believe this show a community between us and you guys coming here today is wonderful because it shows that we're growing, our efforts are growing, and I'm very proud to be a part of the growth that we've seen in Paulding County and the work under our administration. I'm running for the state Democratic nominee for House District 19. And I believe that if you don't participate, if you don't vote, then you just accept what you have, accept what you're getting. I have a few people that I've met over the past few months. This is a horrible I've met a few people over the past few months who have embraced the campaign and embraced the mission of the campaign. And the mission that I believe right now is we want to bring better education to our children. I think it's a shame that we're number 48 in the nation. I think it's a disgrace. I think we need people at the Capitol who understand that our children are the future of this nation. We have to protect them and we have to secure their future. So I believe that's our primary goal as representatives of the state, to make sure that we have our children's future secure. Even better, we have to make sure that our families are being taken care of. We have jobs. You're not driving to the city of Atlanta to work, but we have jobs here, right here in Paulding County. And it's wonderful that we have big businesses that are moving here, and we want to welcome big businesses. But we also want to make sure that we preserve the local economy. If you don't preserve the local economy, it's going to die out. The big businesses, you can't regulate them to make sure they hire local people when they're coming into the county. Walmart is great, but Walmart is not the mom and pop store that's been here for 32 years. We want to make sure the small businesses survive and that they're able to hire someone and create tax incentives and tax policies for those business owners. Another thing I'm interested in is making sure that we create an infrastructure in Paulding County that meets the growing need of the residents in Paulding County. We need better roads. It takes a while to get to 75 or 20, and we need to make sure that we have the facility to entertain the growth that's here in Paulding County. I believe that sounds wonderful. We have a lot of work to do, and we need a lot of help. I need a lot of help. I need you guys to support me by volunteering, donating. I think I'm blessed to have Dr. Watkins donate his books to my campaign, and if you can donate that $50, that goes a far way for me to buy signs and to distribute the information around Paulding County that needs to be distributed. I just want to take a couple minutes to say thank you to a few people who I met just circulating Paulding County. And Nettie Valentine, her sister is here, Suzette is here, Alan, I think Alan left, well, he's there. And these are people who have dedicated themselves to me as a stranger over the past few months. Doreen, I just have so many people to thank, and Deborah and Mike and Nick and Lauren and Joanne.
and Lloyd and Dee Dee. There's so many people who have dedicated their time to help over the past few months. I've been discouraged, but they've been an encouragement to me. And I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Dr. Watkins, my son. But just make sure, the reason I'm calling out these people is just because these people have recognized the need for change in Paulding County. And they've been a force of support. We say this is a red county, this is a red state. No. We have the numbers to turn Paulding County blue. This is a blue county. This is a blue state. And we need you guys to get out, and get the vote up on November 4th. Thank you so much.
That was awesome. Now look, we got to get this crowd more engaged. So here's what I'm going to challenge you to do, all right? Every time I say, buy it up, I want you to say, and ready to vote. But I want the people across the road over there to hear you. All right, you ready? Fired up? Ready to vote! Fired up? Ready to vote! I'm fired up? Ready to vote! All right, that's what I'm talking about. Now, the next speaker needs no introduction. Miss Patti Smith has been a hard worker and an opponent against what some people have tried to do in this county behind closed doors. I want her to talk to you about that issue and tell you about her candidacy. Big hand for Patti Smith.
Thank you, everyone. Well, I am an unlikely candidate. I actually never thought I would be a political candidate as long as I lived, but I found myself living at the east end of the runway in Accident Potential Zone B. And that is a place where each and every one of you can find yourself if we allow our county government to act as if it was their little kingdom, that they can just do anything they want to, anytime they want to, without the approval or the opinion of the people. Now, I realize that, people have told me that, oh, well, that airport it's not my backyard, so I don't care. But the point is, if they put an airport in my backyard, what are they going to put in your backyard? It could be a lot worse than an airport. So we need to stir things up in this county. It's been good old boy governance for way too long. And good old boys, they like to help each other. They don't really care about the little people out there. Well, I'm a little people, and I'm tired of being pushed around by good old boys. All you have to do is look at what's been happening in Ferguson lately, because if they'll do that out here, they might shoot me the next time I wave a sign at David Austin. Really. If they can do it in Ferguson, they can do it here. And they don't like what's happening and what they're hearing in Ferguson. And honey, let me tell you, they don't like it when Patti Smith opens her mouth in the back of the room. Because I am pointing out to them of the corruption that's going on in this county, the good old boy favoritism, the crony capitalism, and it's got to stop. And I'm here to wake people up. Honestly, in this campaign, I kind of see myself like the carnival barker. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we got a problem here in Paulding. I want you to look right over here. We got a problem. Please pay attention because it's going to hit us all. It's going to hit me. It's going to hit you. Wake up, boys and girls, because we got to stand up and fight. And I agree with everything I have heard every speaker say today who said, you have got to get yourself to the polls. Because if we don't vote, if we just stay home, oh, I'm too busy, I can't go, the lines are long. That's exactly what they want. They want you to stay home. They want you to look away and not pay attention to what they're doing. Well, I'm trying to stir things up, and you can help me by getting your souls to the polls. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Vote in November.
Thank you, Patti. All right, our next speaker needs no introduction. He's also a very hard worker in our party. And he has a cadre of support right here in this section from his brothers in the motorcycle club. So I want to ask you to put your hands together for Mr. Charles Winter.
Hello and welcome to our third annual Democratic Committee cookout. I'm not the big speaker, and actually I had the love to be the last one, so everyone covered all my issues, but I'm going to touch shortly on them. One of my main issues is education. So I have a teenage daughter here in the county, and she's always been a part of this school system, which throughout the years we've noticed a lot of changes, and I see it on her little friends and everywhere. So we need to bring back the money that we cut since 2008. We cut about $1 billion in educational funding. So we need to make sure we try to get this back in. We put 200 million back in for this year, but we're still 800 million short. And it shows when you look at statistics, the higher states with the better education grades, they have also higher funding. So it's all a combination. So we need to make sure, see how we can get the funding back and add to it. We need to make sure that the teachers have the job, have the opportunity to teach, and not just try to get them to pass a test every year or every month or every week. We can't go and let them keep our students going to test, and then at the end they don't know what they're learning because they're not learning nothing, they're just memorizing stuff. When I was coming up, I was in the public school system, and I had to learn. I had to sit down, I had to understand, I had to learn how to sound out words, how to pronounce words, so I could spell words, and just basic stuff, and it's just basic one-on-one, 1 + 1 is 2. And that's what we need to bring it back to our whole education system in Georgia. We shouldn't be the last ones, nowhere near the last ones. Georgia's always been a great state, that's why I moved here, and I love it here. And we want to change that. Other issues is our infrastructure out here in Paulding, Polk, and Haralson County. We have we have so much growth over the years, but yet our streets are not fitting that growth. We don't have the room in traffic. We're sitting in traffic all day. It's almost like Atlanta. So not even if you're living in Atlanta, you have a lot of traffic here. In the last 14 years, I spent a lot more time in traffic than I used to when I first moved out here. We also have to ensure that we give business opportunities to survive and create business opportunities to hire new people, employees, growth, which also helps our community. We wouldn't bring so many jobs, but if we could bring 10 to 20 jobs, 10 to 20% on jobs back out to our county, that saves a lot of people from having to travel. And that's the way we have to look at it. We can't look at this whole thing as Republican and Democrat. We have to look at it, what are people doing for people? And this is what we have to get back to. What are you going to do when you get in there? This is not about a party line or whatever it is. This is about people working for people. And that's what it has to be. That's the only thing that matters. If I see homes where 2 parents are working and they still on public assistance, we are not doing the job. Atlanta is not doing the job. The Dome, our legislators are not doing their job. I just put out a thought that I had on term limits. Well, someone responded and said, well, if they're not doing their job, vote them out. Well, that's the problem that we're having. We need to stop it. We have to figure out a way to stop it from people being complacent. They sit there and they have this knowledge of, I deserve this. And it's not there no more. You don't deserve it, because if 2 people have to be on public assistance and they're working a full-time job, you're doing something wrong. And this is what we got to be looking for. I ask your support. If you vote for me, but don't vote for me because you know me, or because vote for me on the issues that I have and that I want to fix. Vote for me for the energy that I think I can bring down there. I don't know how to fix it. I'll be honest, I don't know how to go down there and fix it. It's all long sat in. What Patti said, it's a good old boy system, but the energy has to come in and we have to start from somewhere. And this is what this is about. It's about each one of us looking for opportunity to make a change. And we have to be a part of the change. We can't just let other people make the change for us. We have to believe that we can make a change. So please vote for me on November 4th. Please call your friends. Have them vote for me come November 4th, because you believe in what I'm saying and you believe in us. That we can change this and we can do stuff for people. We can resolve issues and problems for people that need it.
challenge this year. Now listen, we're not just working hard in Paulding County, we're working hard all throughout the state. So we have a U.S. Senate this year. We're proud to have Michelle Nunn running for U.S. Senator. Big hand for Michelle. We're also proud to have Jason Carter at the top of the ticket running for governor. And it's a show right now that they are ahead in the polls. So we're working hard. We have Connie Stokes running for lieutenant governor. We have Greg Hatch running for attorney general. Commissioner of Agriculture, we have Chris Irving. Commissioner of Insurance, Liz Johnson. And State Superintendent, the candidate is Valerie Wilson. Commissioner of Labor, Robin Ship. And for Public Service Commission, in District 14, we have Daniel Blackman. Now, all of these individuals are running, they're running strong campaigns, and we definitely support them. And we'll continue to support them. But I want to tell you about another person who's running for Secretary of State. Her name is Miss Doreen Carter. Now listen, Doreen has been in our county at least, this may be the third time that she's come out here to campaign. She has worked harder than anyone else that I've seen on the state level as far as covering her ground throughout the entire state of Georgia. We have the opportunity to elect 2 Carters in November. Okay? I want you to think about that. We have an opportunity to elect 2 Carters, Doreen and Jason. But just so that you have, well, let me put it like this. If you have a short memory about what the Republicans can potentially do without a strong Secretary of State, let me refresh your memory. Does anybody remember a thing called a hanging Chad? Yeah. 2000, Florida. The Secretary of State at that time was the same person who was co-chair for the Bush-Cheney campaign, and he stole that election. Yeah. What about Ohio, 2004? Secretary of State in that state was also co-chair of the Bush-Cheney campaign, and he stole that election. Right. This office is one of the most important offices in the state of Georgia because they regulate the election process. So let me ask you again. I'm fired up. What are you ready to do? Ready to go! I'm fired up. What are you ready to do? Ready to go! I want to introduce you to Doreen Carter, the next Secretary of State for the state of Georgia. Come on up, Doreen.
Thank you. Yeah, this is exciting. Listen, thank you, Michael. This is our third time out in Paulding County, and we have been welcomed like you guys were homegrown Southerners. I say that because I am a lifelong Georgian. I am a Southern, and there's just something about Southern hospitality. That's right. And we've lost that. I think that the Republican Party have forgotten that there is blood that runs through their veins. Ooh. And some of the decisions that they are making are just so adverse to just being human that it is unbelievable. Well, I want to tell you that Georgia is at play. And it's on the nation's mind. So if we all get out, talk to as many people as we can, encourage them to register if they are not, verify their registration before they go to the poll, and then we have to go back and remind them that they must vote. And you ask them a question. If you stay at home on November the 4th, and you wake up on the 5th, and you have a Republican governor who refuses to fully fund education, ensure that the least of these has affordable health care, and will by any means necessary find a way to limit access to the polls. And if that doesn't bother you, stay home. But just in case it does, go and vote. This is our life. Our very lives depend on the decision that is made on November the 4th. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm excited. A little more excited than I was when I saw you before, because the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, has committed to put feet on the ground in Georgia. Put money, yes, in Georgia. And our state chair, when you hear him talk about this election now, he's encouraging not just vote for Michelle, not just vote for Jason, but vote from the top of the ballot all the way down. So not only will we get our state constitutional officers in place, but we'll have our local elected officials in place who will make the decisions that are necessary for us to enjoy the quality of life that we deserve as Georgians. Thank you for your time. I am Doreen Carter, and I'm one of the fabulous 5 African-American females that is not only going to make history in Georgia, but this is national history that we've already made just by being on the ballot. And I believe that there are some people who are not thinking about voting, but that will excite them. Thank you, God bless you, and let's get, well, girl, souls to the wall.